What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the P Life channel. My name is Rex, and today we're joined by a very special guest, my buddy Roly, who is a special operations medic. 4th of July is coming up, and we want to make sure you guys are covered in case you miss it, start blowing up your fingers or your hands. And we want to make sure that you know how to tie a tourniquet, put on a tourniquet, and not tie it like this moron over here.
Oh, you hear that ping? Watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out. Somebody got shot, nigga. A girl got medical attention. She got shot, nigga.
I think it went all the way through.
It was a white guy. Yeah, the tourniquet. She got shot. He's gonna get you in the car.
Today we're going to be talking specifically about the CAT tourniquet, the combat application tourniquet, because it's a lot better than the RATS tourniquet. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, so today, like I said, I'm joined by my buddy Roly over here, Special Operations Medic. We're going to be talking about CAT tourniquets. So like I said, 4th of July is coming up, and I anticipate coming through my ER a bunch of blown limbs or missing fingers, and a little finger in a Tupperware box full of ice because little Timmy decided to take his sparkler out there, or his little Roman candle, and decided to light it up in front of his dad. Anyway, outside of blowing up your limbs, there's other things that you could do to potentially cause a massive hemorrhage, sever an artery in your leg, in your arm, getting shot, and other things like that. So Roly's gonna talk about the combat application tourniquets, the different generations. The generations that we have right now are Gen 5 and Gen 7. There's some subtle differences here. He's gonna talk about these two tourniquets, and he's gonna show us how to apply it, and yeah, keep us from bleeding to death.
Hey guys, how's it going? Roly here. Just wanted to talk a little bit about tourniquets and the differences of the stuff that's out there. You've got right here in my hand a Gen 5 CAT tourniquet. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but what makes it a Gen 5 is, easily identifiable as a Gen 5 is the white band. So when you have the white band here, it's usually Gen 5. And why that's different from, let's say, a Gen 7, which I miraculously have in my other hand, is just indicated by like the gray band, just for quick reference. The Gen 7 is definitely more efficient, but if you just happen across somebody with a Gen 5, no big deal. Just slight differences. For example, the biggest one that matters to the average person on the street is how you apply it to lower limb injuries. You have to put it through 2 friction loops, which looks like this, if that makes any sense, as opposed to something like this, where the Gen 7, you can only put it through 1, which makes it more efficient. And you could use this both for upper extremities and lower wound extremities as well. Just situational awareness, that way you know like what your equipment is, so you're not spinning your brain trying to figure out why you can't put it through 2 friction loops, when you have a Gen 7. But both very, very effective combat tourniquets. Not everything's perfect, but these have data to back it up.
All right, so now we're gonna be applying this to my arm. I guess this is for you, demonstration purpose. All right, tourniquet me up. Tourniquet, T-O-R-N.
I crank it.
Tourniquet.
Big trick is to crank it down first. That way you only have to do a couple turns. You pull the slack out. You only have to turn it a couple times. Can you get one more in me? There we go.
How do we know when to stop?
So there's a mantra that we use. It's called twist, twist, twist until the bright red bleeding stops.
That's a nice mantra. I think it stopped. All right, so we just demonstrated how to put on a tourniquet on an upper extremity. The same method you could use for both Gen 5 and Gen 7 because they both only go through single loops. So how long are you able to keep a tourniquet on a limb?
So, there are different schools of thought, but generally what's safe is 2 to 3 hours on our level. But in surgery, sometimes in a controlled environment, they put tourniquets on for like 6 hours.
Okay. And as far as So on the civilian side, you have 2 to 3 inches above the wound. On your end, is it any different?
Yeah, we go high and tight on arms and legs. We just put them as high as possible. The reason being is just there's just more success. You know, when you train like the people you're with, and if you're not medically trained, just get it as high and tight as you can.
In an event that someone does end up losing a finger or a hand, would you still go high and tight?
I guess for me, I would. That's just the way I'm trained. You know, that's just like where I'm at right now.
Okay.
And I just don't see like any evidence of why it would be contrary.
Right. And you had mentioned like possible shrapnel. Right.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know how high that wound track is going. What if you blew something off? You're so razzled that you don't know exactly where that 2 to 3 inches are. It's just for me, at my level, I would still be like, oh, is that 2 to 3 inches from the end? I don't know. Is that a literal number? I would just get it high and tight and just control the bleeding first and figure out, you know, what to do after that once I've got that bleeding under control.
All right, so now we're gonna show you how to put it on the lower extremities. And
Make sure the boys are out of the way.
is that as high as you, or would you do it?
I'll get it up right there, but you know, I'd set it up here for success. And then that way, just 1 or 2 cranks. Is your dick out of the way?
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
It's not that long. Ah!
so that's one crank. You got another one in you?
No. Not even a little bit.
Okay. So
And so if the bleeding doesn't stop, do you ever put 2 tourniquets?
yep, you can. Boom.
Oh, that is simple.
And then I'm just gonna do one.
Yeah.
You can kind of see how that works. It's just simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that shit out.
All right, so we showed you guys the basics of how to put on a tourniquet, the differences between the Gen 5 and a Gen 7. And at the end of the day, we just want to make sure you know how to put it on correctly and stop the bleed and be able to get to the higher level of care. Make sure you call 911 first before anything else though. So with 4th of July coming up, we also want to send a message with all the divisiveness that's going on in the country right now. We want to just send a message of love to everybody. Stop being a-holes to each other and just treat each other with mutual respect. If you like the video, if you like the content of the video today, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the lower right corner of your screen. Thanks again to my buddy Roly for coming here. If you like his information, if you enjoyed our content, make sure you follow him at
DV Med Solutions.
DV Med Solutions. I'll leave a link down below. Again, if you like this content and if you want to see any more content just like this, leave a comment down below, share this with your friends, and have a safe and awesome 4th of July. You guys take it easy. Peace.